Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. I am Jen Sugarmeyer, your host of Mindset in the Morning, and we are here live 5 days a week at 6 a.m. Central Standard Time, but it's YouTube, so you can tune in whenever you would like. And I am here in Vegas. I flew here over the weekend, and I'm up here continuing my education, which is something I would always encourage you to do, is just continue on with growing your mind, expanding your network, and having a little fun while you're at it. I'm a big fan of going out and having fun. And, the more fun where I put my attention, the more fun that I have, the more, I don't know, my life improves. I enjoy when I'm in a good state of mind, and I'm happy and I'm at peace. And the more I put my attention there, boy, it's like more fun and happiness and positivity gets surrounded by me. And that's actually what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about how where you put your attention, where you put your energy is actually going to come back to you. But first, before we get started, this is Mindset in the Morning, and we are all things mindset, where we talk about the 6 inches that are in between your ears. And so that way, when you go out into the world, you're able to bob and weave as life is happening, because life is constantly happening. And you can't avoid the stuff that's happening on the news. And when you get in your vehicle and you drive into work, or you drive to the grocery store, or you come home from a long day and there are people there and they have their own set of problems, and there is nothing you can do to avoid what's happening in the world. But the only thing that you can control is yourself. And so I want to make sure that you understand how to navigate, and we do that using our mind. When you are able to control that, you have tapped into the most powerful thing that you can tap into in this entire world. So, Mindset in the Morning, all things mindset, exercising your mental muscle. So if you have not yet hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, please go ahead and do so now, because that does help grow this channel in the algorithm. And if you want updates when we go live, hit that bell as well, and you'll make sure to get the updates when we go live, which is 5 days a week. All right. So karma. We've all heard about karma. And I started thinking about this topic because it's so easy, I should say. It's so easy for us to slip into a state of being that we're not happy about. Or, really all you need to do is just look around and something can irritate you. That could be on the news, that could be a presidential decision, it could be somebody, an elected official made some change to a regulation that didn't agree with you. You could even go into church and say, you know what, some of these people, I don't know that I agree with. There's all kinds of situations that can just really irritate us. And so our brains, when we start to go down a certain road, it is so easy for us to slip into a mode that is not going to yield good results. And so where our power is when we are able to catch these emotions as they're happening. Because what is truly happening is, like, life is like a boomerang. I mean, we hear about karma all the time. Oh, karma will get that person. Karma will get that person. And what is karma? It's what you put out, you get back. It's what you put out, you attract. It's what you do will come back to you. But how many times do we forget about this when we're operating just in our day-to-day, in our minute by minute? What we put out is what we attract. There's a certain vibration that you are living on. You could be on the first floor of the house. Think about it. You might be on a basement. And when you look around in a basement, what do you see? I don't know, other people that are in the basement. You can't see anybody upstairs. Can't see anybody below you. But you see everybody on the basement. What about on the first floor? You see everybody on the first floor. What about the second level? See everybody on the second level. My point is, wherever you are in this house or this building, that's what you're able to see, is only the people on those floors. Now, even if there was a glass floor, you may be able to see one level down, you may be able to see one level up, but you are not able to see all the way up. all like if you're on the first floor, you can't see all the way up to the 34th floor. It doesn't work that way. And that's what vibration is. You are at a certain level. And when you are here, that's what you see around you. That's as far as you're able to see. So when you are putting energy out, you are vibrating on a certain level. So have you ever stopped to think about what your energy looks like? Are you on the basement? Are you on the first floor, second floor? We all have a vibration that every single day, every single minute, because it can change. You might be low at a very low vibration. And what does that mean? So if you're at a low vibration, it means you have a lot of negativity. The thoughts that come into your head, it could be that you step in a puddle and you say, that stupid puddle, dang it. Could be that somebody cuts you off and you say, you're such a jerk. It could be that you go into the office and your coworker does something and you think, you're such a moron. I can't believe you would do that. And there's this negativity that is oozing out of you. And whatever you are bringing out will then determine what floor of the business that you're standing on, what vibration you are putting out. And whatever you put out is what you will see around you. Have you ever noticed that when you're negative, you find other negative people? When you're positive, you probably notice it even more when you're in a positive mood. Because you know that person when they come in and you're like, ooh, you're really negative. And you're like, oof, I can't deal with that. And you move. I remember one time I was standing in line and I was standing in line at an American Airlines counter and I had to make it was a customer service counter and there was a change. I think flights had been canceled and delayed and all kinds of, it was just a mess. Sometimes when you travel, it can absolutely, I mean, there's weather, there's, maybe a mechanical on the plane, there's all kinds of things that can happen. And the gentleman that was standing in front of me, he turned around and he just, can you believe, can you this and that and this and that? And honestly, I didn't really see his point. He started talking about how his flight had been canceled the week before because of all of this bad weather that was in Dallas. Well, I actually live in Dallas. And he was blaming the airline for all of these cancellations. Well, I also know that because I live in Dallas, that weather that we had was crippling. I know it destroyed a lot of homes, and I think it may have even taken some lives. We lost power for days. Dallas really took a beating with that. And the gentleman that was standing in front of me had the audacity to turn around, and he truly felt that the airlines were at some level of fault because of the cancellations that had happened in Dallas. When the truth is, I don't want to be in the plane when there's bad weather. And if flights are canceled, you see, it's one thing to get out, but planes also have to come in. So if you've disrupted the flight pattern, then how you have to redo your whole schedule. If you don't have planes that are coming in, you don't have planes that are going out. And if the weather's bad, you don't want to be flying. So your entire schedule gets changed. And look, it's not fun to get stuck someplace, but it happens. There is a risk when you fly, and that's part of it. You can't do anything about Mother Nature. And quite frankly, if there's a mechanical on the plane, I know sometimes people get really upset, like, oh, there's a mechanical. I'm sorry, I'd rather than catch that while it's on the ground than in the air. You know what I mean? So this gentleman, he's turned around and he's talking to me about how it's the airline's fault that he wasn't able to get certain places because of this weather. I'm listening to this going, Do you know what that weather did to Dallas? Do you know what it did to the homes and the people that don't have their home anymore? And you're worried, you're blaming the airline for this? And he just kept coming at me. And I said, yeah, actually, that really had a devastating impact on Dallas. And I held to my positive frequency while he was down here. And he effectively, if we're going to go back to the building analogy, he was trying to yell up at a different level. And I just wasn't having it. I wasn't. So he could see me and was trying to talk to me, but I wasn't about to give into his negativity. Yeah, screw the airlines. Yeah, I can't believe they canceled all those flights. How dare they? They should always be working because they should work around my schedule, and my schedule is important. I wasn't going to do that. That wasn't where I was at here. It wasn't the energy that I had. It wasn't the frequency. It wasn't my vibration. I didn't agree with this gentleman. So at some point, he saw that I wasn't going to agree with him. He's yelling up at me. I'm like, nope, not happening. And at some point, he was looking at me and then he turns around because the conversation was going nowhere. I was here, he was here, and we couldn't talk to each other. I could see him, sort of. He could see me, sort of, but we weren't able to be on the same level in cahoots. I heard him. I didn't agree. He kept talking. That's as far as it went because we didn't agree on the same thing. So we cannot hang out on the same level as each other. You see how that works? So as you are putting out energy, as you are talking about things, you see what you put your thought into, it becomes an action or it becomes an emotion. Your thoughts are what you become. You are going to manifest more of that in your life. So if you start to have these thoughts about, let's say, the airlines, and you get angry when they cancel your flight, and I know it can be frustrating, but what do we know about situations that are outside of our control? They're outside of our control. So we have to understand what is the power of control and the power of choice. Control, we know two things happen. If you put your time and energy into things that you cannot control, you are wasting time and you go into a state of suffering. So you need to understand what is it that you control and what is it that you don't control. The Serenity Prayer says, help me to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And if we truly adopted that in our life and we understood what do we control and what do we not control, what you would find is that the only thing you really control is yourself. And there are even some things about yourself that you don't control. I don't control my aging process. I can impact it. But even if I said, I don't want to age anymore, I'm still aging every single day. And I can do it with grace or I can fight it. But when you have a thought, it is going to become an emotion or an action or both. So thinking that the airlines are against you, putting your energy into that thing that you cannot control. What happened to this gentleman? I saw him as his blood pressure just kept rising, kept rising. And he continued to talk, yeah, but this, but that. And he kept trying to get to me. And I said, no, I'm not having it. And his one little thought about how his schedule is so important that nothing should get in his way, his belief that the airline should always be on time, the belief that the airline should never cancel, and that when he books a ticket that he should get to his destination when it says he should get to his destination, because he holds on to these things so tightly and he doesn't allow for any flexibility. He's controlled these. That allows no room for flexibility when things do happen. And the truth is, life happens. Life is happening every single day. Every single minute, there's a new challenge that can present itself into your life. And if you are not able to move with that, then you are stuck in your mindset. And you will start to have negative thoughts because this is the way my life is supposed to be. And you allow no flexibility. So when you start to think this and it's negative and you are controlling things that are outside of your control, then you become negative and you attract more negativity. Now, had I been on the same level as that gentleman, we would have had a conversation. He was looking for that magnet around him. And you will continue to find what you are looking for. I will tell you, in my own life, I had a lot of negativity for a long time. And as I started to acknowledge that, wow, I'm really negative and I want to clean it up, what I noticed is that I had attracted a lot of negative friends. Not all of them, but I had attracted a lot of negative friends. And I had to cut them out because I no longer was at that vibration. But like attracts like. So if you want positive actions, if you want to attract positivity, then it has to start from within. So you need to be able to catch as things are happening. Your thoughts are something that you control. So as they start to creep up, if you find that you are having negative emotions, catch them. Ask yourself, does it serve me? And if your answer is yes, think through it. Why is it yes? Is it yes for me to have this resentment because that person deserves anger? Then are you being vindictive? Is there an underlying negativity that's actually fueling your actions? Because if you want a positive life, you have to put out positivity. There can't be this underlying, I'm going to get them. I'm out for something. I'm out for vengeance. Yes, they deserve it. It serves me to think this way. Because what you are putting out, you will attract back. Because that's the vibration that you're on. That's the frequency. So as you go out today, start to pay attention to your thoughts. And ask yourself, is this what I would want back? And start to look at life as a mirror and say, wow, that's not what I would want back. Because we're playing with fire when we put negativity out there. So start to pay attention to that in your own life. Karma is a real thing. And I want you to get back nothing but positive results. But it's got to start with you. So that's your homework for today. I am Jen Sugarmeyer, your host of Mindset in the Morning, and we will be back here tomorrow. I'll still be in Vegas, same time, same place. Go be powerful. Think about that energy that you're putting out. Look at life as a mirror and watch your life change as you become positive and you start to receive that positivity back. All right. You have a beautiful day. See you here, same time, same place tomorrow. Cheers.